Welcome to Comically Comics, your one-stop listen to all things comics. We're talking books, movies, TV shows, video games, and more. I must forewarn you, though, we are a spoiler cast, and what that means is we consider all properties, past, future, and present, to be valid, and we will spoil the hell out of them. I'm your host, Michael, along with my two co-hosts, Richard and Jeremy, and with all that being said, let's get started. All right, it is Sunday, February 9th, and you know what that means? Comically Comics Podcast, not the big game.
Oh, okay.
Comically Comics Podcast.
Okay.
It's much more important.
I honestly had no idea who was even playing.
Yeah, I don't either.
Until like earlier this, midway through this week, I was just like,
I've been caught up with like personal stuff recently. I didn't even know the fucking was today. I'll be 100% honest with you. Or excuse me, the big game. Sorry, I guess I got to edit that out. Heavens forbid I actually say the name of the place. But anyway, yeah, I didn't know that was a thing.
It was. You meant the soup that you eat.
Yes, exactly. There's like a Reddit place that's called Superb Owl.
There you go.
That's funny. Awesome. Well, we've got Creature Commandos, the finale, 7th episode right here. It is titled A Very Funny Monster. And we had some first appearances in this. And it was more locations than I thought about trolling Jeremy with. Because I was like, we got the first mention of Metropolis and Star City and Bloodhaven.
Bloodhaven, yeah.
I'm like, hey, we've never seen Bloodhaven in a movie yet.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is pretty awesome. Now, we didn't see it, but it was mentioned. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. But I am gonna throw it out there that I thought about it.
Yeah.
Cool. Anyways, we do have first appearances in the way of King Shark. King Shark has now showed up, not voiced by Sylvester Stallone, by the way, I might add. King Shark's first appearance is in Superboy number 9. We've also got the first appearance of Kaliss, which is first issue special number 9. It's really, really fucking hard to say that one. But yeah, and I didn't get the dates on those anyways either. So I apologize. Superboy is a modern book. And that first issue is like a Bronze Copper Age style book. So it's a cool little series. The first issue series is. Anyways, regardless, those are the first appearances that I noticed on this. My synopsis. The Commandos make it to the castle and proceed to eliminate Princess Ilana. We also get the origin story to Nina Mazursky. We get a follow-up of what's going on with Rick Flag and Amanda Waller. And, like I said, season finale. So will the Commandos save the world or die trying? Jeremy, what is your whelmings of this?
Just whelmed still. He didn't do it. He didn't get it there for me. It was just, and like to even for the whole series, I'm just whelmed too. I mean, especially just I don't know. I expected more out of this episode, and it just fell flat to me a little bit. Like it was just there. It wasn't, it was just another episode kind of thing. It wasn't like a big finale type thing to me. It was just the next one on the list.
I kind of find that surprising, is considering what happens in it.
What? That it?
Well, I don't want to spoil it yet.
Okay.
All right, Richard, what is your whelming of this?
So hot take, I'm kind of echoing Jeremy a little bit. I'm whelmed with this episode. A lot of the times for me, it's the ending that makes or breaks a series for me. Okay. And this ending was very much a nothing burger. And yeah, Jeremy nailed it on the head for me. Like, it just felt like another it feels like we should get one more episode. Huh. And like, it did resolve everything, but I guess I just wasn't satisfied with the resolution of everything. Like, and I don't know. It felt more like, I know he's announced that this is not like a one and done kind of series, that there will be multiple seasons, but
right.
I don't know. I just didn't like the way everything was sort of just left there. And there's one thing that I have huge beef with. And anyway, so yeah, I'm just whelmed. And then like as far as the whole series goes, I guess I'm whelmed to pleasantly whelmed because like I did enjoy it, but that ending, like I said, makes or breaks it for me. And because it ended the way it did, it's just kind of soured my opinion of the whole series.
Huh. Well, all right then. I'm pleasantly whelmed with this ending. Like I don't know. I got the origin of Nina. It was sad like all the others.
Yeah, it was sad.
I got the finale, somewhat the finale of the Creature Commandos story, as well as like, you know, Frankenstein's mission to find the bride. Like pretty much satisfied that as well. I think there's a few little tiny unanswered questions, but outside of that, like it's nothing big or major. I totally understand now why James Gunn was like, this does not necessarily start his universe. It makes complete sense why this doesn't start his universe. But at the same time, like, I don't know, this was just kind of a fun, like, start of like, here's things to come. Like, here's kind of where I'm coming from. So I like that aspect of it. I like that they did animated style to just kind of give you a taste overall, just a taste.
Yeah.
Of like what could come. So
now I do like if we're looking at it through the lens of that, then I do like it that way because it was overall, it was like fun to watch, if you will. Like if I just disconnected it from being like, it's this whole cinematic universe thing and everything's got to be interconnected and stuff like that. I did, like, if I just put that aside, I did enjoy the stuff, but because it is like, I'm looking at it from like, this is the start of your universe. You should have ended it with this. Also, like, one of the things with one of the characters, I'm trying to be vague until we actually start talking about the end twist of it. I'm just like, it should have been this. It should have ended this way, and we'll get more into that when we talk about it. But yeah, I get what you're saying, and like, I'm not saying that like this is shit, we should throw everything out. Like James Gunn should be fired immediately, and all this stuff. Like I do think it wasn't a bad series, but it just, I don't know. To me, I was just like, really? That's how you ended it? Okay, that was a thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you don't necessarily, I don't feel like anyways, you necessarily have to have watched this to be able to watch anything that's coming up, especially like Superman. I don't think this is going to help you with Rick Flag at all in that movie. And that would be the only, that or Amanda Waller. You know, like I said, I take for what he said because he's the creator of it. He's like, this is not the start of it. This is just, you know, a piece that I did. And, but that's connected to it. So I'm like, okay, cool. And I guess that's why I'm in the position that I am. As far as the season as a whole, I'm pleasantly whelmed with this. In fact, I told somebody Saturday, I think it was. I was like, yeah, it's been a fun watch. You know, you should definitely watch it. So, yeah, that was me. So, let's get into the actual story of this. Now, the creatures made it to the castle. They burned a hole through the wall. And my beef with that is how it was all red around them. Okay, as they're walking, the phosphorus burns a hole through the wall, and but they all walked in, and I'm like, "There's no way Weasel's feet is not burning right now."
Oh yeah,
like he's the he's the only one that has no shoes on, and I would think Nina as well. Like certainly we burn through the soles. Like that's not
yeah.
But this is also a cartoon show. Let's be honest. But yo, Richard, you nailed it on the freaking head. Weasel had feelings for the princess in the sense of like, you know, the girl and all that other jazz, not like romantic.
Yeah,
but,
no, it's not sexual feelings.
Yeah. Right. We do have to like specify that though, because this is James Gunn and we've seen some weird shit in the show.
Don't be gross, Tammy.
But yeah, he sat there and like didn't necessarily turn, but like he was all trying about like going to see the princess.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it was definitely one of those that like you could see him just doing a full circle there, and yeah, you definitely called that one, Richard, and yeah, made a major plot. I mean, not major, but it definitely changed the story there. And like the thing that's frustrating with that is, you know, through this whole thing, we've been like, what's the point of Nina? She doesn't do any, like, she hasn't done anything. And like her one chance to do it, and it just, doesn't happen.
Her one chance to do it in her element, she was tasked, the Princess Ilana was swimming, doing her morning swim that she does apparently every morning. And Nina was tasked to go out into the waters, swim underneath her, and stab her in her belly and end this. And lo and behold, Weasel blows that for her. The princess sees Nina coming up from the bottom towards her, and then they tussle in the water, and Ilana kills her with her own knife. I'm going to say she's dead. There was a body. It looked pretty dead to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they don't seem to be big on burying anybody in this universe right here, but I firmly believe that Nina is dead.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm going to disagree because one of my theories, if we got into what do we expect for the future of Creature Command, I was about to say Suicide Squad, the Creature Commandos. I think that season 2 will be that she's brought back to life. She died in Pokolistan, like whatever in the 1700s. Victor Frankenstein was able to piece a bunch of corpses together and bring someone back to life. Who's to say that she doesn't come back to life? Like someone like whatever Eric Frankenstein brings her in and brings her back to life so he can get back with the bride or something, whatever it may be. It's like, oh, I brought your best friend back as like a peace offering kind of thing. Yeah, knowing Gunn, I wonder if he likes that actress because Gunn always likes to reuse actors and actresses.
Yeah,
I could easily see them bringing her back, but I'm not like dead on committed to that. But yeah, I also like, I was like, okay, here's the moment because I thought for sure we would get a moment where Nina is in the water and she's like a badass, and we get to see how much of a badass she is, and then it happens. And she doesn't kill the princess, and the princess like takes the knife from her and stabs her multiple times. And I immediately was like,
that does not help us. You do not help us.
because like, why was she on the team at all?
Yeah.
I'm talking Ilana freaking prison shivved her. I'm talking like just jab, 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 jab.
Definitely.
Like this was. And then the glowing. So is Ilana? Do y'all think that she's a
meta?
A meta. Yes, thank you.
Metahuman. I was wondering that too. The glowy eyes. I thought it was going to be revealed that she was like Cersei or something.
That's what I was wondering too. Like if that had any kind of indication towards anything, or if there was any point to it, or just if it was maybe she just had that glint in her eyes, like whenever.
Yeah.
I guess whenever she gets to that moment of like. Just I don't know, whatever. But I didn't know if that really served any point to it.
I just thought about this as we were talking about it. So I was rummaging through Plex, looking at the credited voice actors and stuff like that, and the characters they play. And I noticed on multiple episodes, there's multiple people who are credited as being Amethyst Knight.
Right. That's her like tech knights or whatever.
Yes.
Her, like,
We've been making fun of them the whole season, but they're actual Amethyst Knights. And so I was like, wait a second, Amethyst. And so then I looked that up, and like there is a character that's like, was it Amethyst Princess or something like that? And she is the princess of Gem World.
Oh.
And so I'm like, is James Gunn gonna sit there and make Amethyst Princess of Gem World a thing?
I guess.
Is that who Ilana is like teamed up with? Is that why her eyes went all crazy and stuff like that? Like, is that what this is?
I think you may have stumbled onto something there, Michael. I think that may be what season 2's about.
You know how much of a deep cut that would be that nobody gives a shit about right now?
Exactly.
Amethyst.
That may be why he's putting it in Creature Commandos, though. Is why, because like it doesn't matter. Like it's a fun thing that Gunn is doing.
Yeah.
Well, and then the whole time you're like, there's no way her and her army, or even with Gorilla God, can take on. But like if she's part of Gem World or some bullshit like that, she gets some extra kind of power. like, could that possibly make her a threat for, the Justice League and stuff? Like, don't get me wrong. I still think it could be a stretch, but like, there's a reason that is an actual vision that we get confirmed here in this episode as well.
Right. It's more believable than what we had before, like where it was just like, oh, her and her knights and dropping a bunch of nukes was going to be what like killed the Justice League, or what her and Gorilla Grodd, like it just was not. But yeah, I get, because like Superman's weak to magic along with kryptonite, so like that could be a thing.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm like, that seems like something right up James Gunn's alley, is take something that nobody cares anything about and make them something. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know. I saw that and I was like, wait a second. But yeah, we got confirmation that Cersei was telling the truth. That like, that's an actual premonition, vision, whatever you want to call it, or whatever. That was legit. Before we get the twist that Alana hired Clayface to come in. I wanted to talk about that because you were saying that last week. You were like, Clayface is working for somebody. I think it's Waller, because that's a Waller move right there.
It should have been Waller.
I think that is a solid guess. But it turned out to be Alana. How are your thoughts on that?
So that's my biggest beef with, like, Waller gets duped by Princess Alana. Like, are you kidding me? Waller gets duped by Clayface and Princess Alana. That is so out of character for Waller. Here's what would have made this maybe overly whelmed for me for the series. It should have been the reveal that it was Waller lying all along, and that they would either wanted Piccolo Stan for oil, or I thought about it and I was like, or they could have, if you wanted to tie it into the rest of the James Gunn universe, she's like, it's revealed that they didn't want oil. They wanted a specific mineral that was found in Piccolo Stan. And then when it's revealed what it is, it's a big green glowing rock, meaning kryptonite. And it leads into Superman or something. And then we could have a scene in the Superman movie where like Waller gives Lex Luthor kryptonite or whatever it may be. Like, I don't know exactly what Gunn has for Superman, but it could have easily just been that. I just was very annoyed because I'm like, Waller is like Batman level of like, she's always prepared for everything. So the fact that this princess just hired Clayface and pulled one over her is so annoying. It's so annoying.
She wanted access to Gym World. Let's be real. Like, that's what she wanted access to.
I got to be honest. I like the idea that this may be like continuing on to season 2, and that like Alana was working with that. I don't know, that would make up for this season, but still, like, watching this on its own, and then I have to, like, in order for it to be good, to watch the season 2 is just not a good way to like view things. So I'm like, it should have been able to stand on its own.
I do agree with that. For me, it did, but like, if I was underwhelmed or whatever, or just whelmed, then like, no, I could totally agree with you on that. Yeah. So we got Rick Flag. He looks alive. So there you go,
Ish.
Jeremy.
Yeah, he definitely was like in and out of consciousness. Consciousness, whatever it is. There.
That's it. Beat up, but he does look alive. So I guess he'll be ready for the Superman movie. We'll see how that goes.
It would be funny though, like if he comes into the Superman movie like with a cane at first or something like that, or something just to kind of hobble along with.
That'll be John, Economist,
the bearded guy. Oh my god,
Dye Beard.
Oh yes, gotcha. Yes, sorry, Dye Beard.
I have to call him Dye Beard for him. Where did he even come from? Like when Waller's gets out of the car and she walks around it, she starts walking up the sidewalk. Economist is coming from like 2 houses down or something. He's out of breath and he's like hobbling along. And I'm like, he didn't just get out of the passenger seat. Like, where the freaking crap did he come?
he took an Uber. He called an Uber and was like, I need to go to this address quickly.
The lady's cat got off the leash and was chasing him down the road.
Yeah, there you go.
Cat on a leash. Oh, that's funny. All right, Clayface. Do y'all think that Clayface is dead or alive?
Sure. Like, I don't know. Like, that's one of those. It's like they want you to think he's dead, but he's definitely. I mean, clay is one of those things that you could just obviously reshape and remold. So I don't know. I'm sure probably at some point we'll see him again. I don't think he's done for.
I'm going to go with no, just because, like what Jeremy said, like he's probably just still like out of it, and he'll reconstitute himself like T-1000 in the second Terminator movie or something, and he'll be back. If they do kill him off, there's been multiple Clay faces, so they could easily just bring another one in. But yeah, I was shocked to see that the bits of Clayface were still just lying around in the house, and I was like, okay. Are they killing him off or not? Like, why are we doing this? Why is so much stuff left in the air?
That was the same for me. I was quite questioned about that. However, James Gunn has come out and said, because a lot of people had that same question of like, is Clayface dead? He's come out and said that Clayface is not dead. He's alive, essentially.
Oh, okay.
There's some like, I wish I'd gone and gotten the quote. That's my bad. I should have gotten it. I think it's a famous quote from Mark Twain or something like that. It's a famous writer. Anyways, it's basically alluding to the fact that he's still alive and well, but quite mushy right now is what he added on to it. So it's pretty funny.
Gonna give him some time to pull himself together.
Right. Let's see. We talked about Nina. We talked about the princess. We talked about Flag, Clayface. What am I missing? We missing anything? We got the new team. I'm sorry, what were you saying, Jeremy?
Say Bride and that whole love quarrel.
Oh yeah, the Frankenstein finally met up with the bride, and that was not a good reunion there at all.
Yeah.
She shot him out of a window.
I mean, did y'all really think it was gonna end well for him anyway? Given like everything that we've seen so far, I was just like, oh yeah, that's pretty reasonable. I thought he would play more of a role. Like, there'd be like a long drawn out fight. Instead, she just sort of shot him in the chest multiple times. And then did she shoot him in the face? She shot him one last time and they didn't really show it. But when he's like bandaged up, I can't remember if his head was bandaged.
But that seems to be kind of like the MO of this, like this series. It just seems like there should be, like what you had said earlier too, Richard, you're like, feels like there should have been more.
Yeah, absolutely.
It just like should have been a little bit more to it, but it's just like, nope, we're just throwing it in there real quick and done kind of thing. So
I know that like I've always been one to sit there and say, if you enjoy something and it leaves you wanting more, that's always a good thing. However, I feel like we're getting kind of the opposite side of that here with y'all, where it's like y'all were whelmed with it. It was okay. But you needed more to actually get to that good section of it. Yeah. Is that right?
Yeah, I agree. Like, yes, I know the saying, like, leave them wanting more, but there's an asterisk to that. You got to give them enough first for them. And I felt like I wasn't, like, in other words, I was just given the appetizer and I got no, like, main course. I didn't even get a dessert. Yeah. Like, I just got an appetizer. And it was just like a one-piece appetizer kind of thing.
Oh,
I only got like 3 chips for my chips and salsa, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Because really all it was just like, here's all the like loose plot threads, like just tied up real quick. And I just was like, could we have something that maybe builds to more of the DCU? Or anyway, I don't know. It just was not, it was not satisfactory for me is all I was saying.
Yeah. Gotcha. No, yeah, I was kind of expecting her not to, the whole Frankenstein bride thing to not last long at all. So there is a little, I can't remember. It's like somewhat post credits scene of Frankenstein. You see him bandaged up and he's with a new like gypsy lady, it seems like, anyways. So we'll see how long she
So
lasts.
her time is limited now.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was like, girl, you better run.
That's funny. So Frankenstein will be back. David Harbour Frankenstein will be back. The creatures should be back as well, but with new team members this time. They have added on the roster. Well, we got the old roster of the Bride, Dr. Phosphorus, and Weasel.
And
We'll go ahead and throw in GI Robot because we got GI Robot
Yeah.
2. I don't like this version. I don't like the way this version looks.
the like roided out version.
yeah, he looks like a Hulkbuster almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I like the old GI Robot better.
I'll agree with that.
Like I get
Yeah.
it.
I mean, like, I think probably the big part will be having like the same personality, like the same, how he was developing like the AI and that kind of stuff. Like, it's not a whole new thing. I think it'd be kind of, but I agree. Like, I liked with it being the GI robot, I liked it being the actual retro look of him, like where he where he began, like, because it was back in that time.
Yeah.
Well, and it kind of makes me wonder, like, is this their way of getting away from like all the Nazi references? You know, with it being somewhat of a new robot, like, is that how they're gonna be able to be like, you know, he's not necessarily programmed for Nazis anymore?
Oh,
Like, is that,
I don't like
you
that.
know,
at
we're gonna
all.
be done with Nazi jokes?
I don't want that at all. I love that's my favorite gimmick with him is he's killing Nazis.
Yeah.
But no, I also like the look of like he's called GI Robot, so like he's not wearing the little like World War II helmet anymore either. And like he's just like a metal. He just looks like any other robot in the DC universe kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like I don't know. I'm with y'all. Like I like whatever type 1, the first iteration of GI.
OG.
Yes.
Jake.
Yes, Jake.
We also got, which we actually saw this character earlier on in the season, but Nosferatu is now part of the team. And then we get a character by the name of Khalees, who
Yeah.
is a mummy, part of the team now. And then King Shark is now part of the team, and he is voiced by Diedrich Bader.
Diedrich Bader.
Thank you. Diedrich Bader.
He does a lot of voices for DC. He does the voice of Batman
cool.
in the Harley Quinn show.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he does a bunch of stuff. I've mentioned him in the past. You've probably seen movies that he's been in. He's been in a ton of things. But anyway,
So I knew him from the Drew Carey show.
yep, that's one of the ones that he's from.
That's where I knew him from. And then, so if you're listening to this podcast, you more than likely, hopefully, have listened to the Shazam Fury of the Gods episode. He was Freddy's teacher.
Yep.
In that episode,
Mm-hmm.
he died tragically. So, but he's now back as King Shark. So, what do y'all think about getting King Shark back?
I mean, guess we'll find out. I don't know.
We've had Gunn with him before.
Yeah, I know. So I mean, I hopefully it'll be fun to see how he gets. Hopefully he'll last a little bit longer in the water than the last water creature.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say is they at least have a replacement for their water creature. And this one can actually breathe out of water. So
Yeah,
it's like a plus. It's almost like he should have been on the team from the get-go.
I mean, for me in Suicide Squad, the James Gunn Suicide Squad, or was it the Suicide Squad?
They add the V to it. That's the only difference.
Yeah. King Shark in that was a hit for me.
Yeah.
I loved it. So, and I think that had a lot to do with the writing of King Shark. Like, don't get me wrong, Sylvester Stallone as him was fun. I enjoyed it, but like James Gunn, I believe, wrote all those lines. So to have him back at the wheel of King Shark, I'm so cool with that. Like I'm good with that. So I just kind of hope he sticks with what we've already had before. Honestly, just because I like that the first time around, and that's what I'm going to compare it to, honestly. So, especially with it being the same writer.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I was definitely, one of my notes was just like King Shark exclamation point. Like I was like Nanaue. Yes, I'm excited to see Nanaue because like yeah, he was a fan favorite for me in the Suicide Squad.
Yeah. The other two, I don't know. The Mummy could be cool. We'll see. I don't know anything about that character. Again, it's just it's more characters that you have no idea who they are.
Yeah.
Like nobody cared about these before.
Exactly. The only thing I'm wondering is with the theme of like nobody was actually a monster. Like, what is the deal with the Mummy, and what's the deal with Nosferatu? Is she like just a metahuman that has like bat DNA?
Yeah.
There were talks about supposedly Gunn was going to bring in Man Bat. That was one of the people that maybe we would have had instead of Nosferatu. But I think
that would have been cool.
Yeah, he mentioned something on social media. I forget where. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But he mentioned something about like he wants to use Man Bat, but just not here.
Man, and that guy's got a tragic story. Like that would go really well with what he's doing here, or what he did with that season, this past season. I think that's the thing is that I think his biggest thing with this season, and we've talked about it a couple times, was just the idea of, you know, this having two stories. You've got the Commando story about them like going and trying to execute this mission, but at the same time, a story of like who are really the monsters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and I like that. Like when I finally realized what that was, I was like, oh shit, like he did a really good job at that. Like he didn't get credit for it, but like he did a really good job of this, like who are the real monsters? Because I'm sorry, Nina's origin was pretty fucked up. Like her mom leaving and all that jazz, like at birth, because, you know, she couldn't breathe and needed a machine and all this other shit. Like she just wanted to get rid of her. Like, fuck.
Yep. Yeah. No, that and like the police officer shooting her dad. I wrote a cab.
Oh god.
And like I was like, he had no gun. He was no threat. He was literally just shoving to get to his daughter, kind of thing. And he just gets shot. I was just like, what the fuck, man?
Right.
Yeah. Also, I hate that she had to eat fish because I was like, she's not a creature from the Black Lagoon. She wouldn't eat just like raw. She probably ate like what we ate. Like she ate cereal and burgers and steak and whatever, pizza and stuff like that. Like, so I was just like, ugh. Yeah, her origin, I'm glad we got into it because it was very heartbreaking as well. Like it, honestly, like I know Michael said the Weasel episode fucked him up. Jeremy, I can't remember. Did you say the Phosphorus one? Yeah, fucked you up. This one fucked me up because I was just like, damn. Like how the mom left and then the dad was like a pretty great dad in my opinion.
Right.
And I was just like, oh, that was so heartbreaking when he got shot. And then she had to like just see it happen and she couldn't do anything about it. And she literally did nothing too. That's the other thing is like all the other ones kind of like killed someone or did something to be arrested. Nina got arrested for looking different. Like that's her only crime is that she looked like a monster. That was it.
Right.
And I get what James Gunn's saying
Trespassing.
there. Yeah. But like still, it was just like, that's so fucked, man. That's so fucked.
Yeah.
And then she just dies at the end. And I was just like, that is so fucking heartbreaking.
So like the bride didn't kill anybody.
Yeah, maybe.
So now she was created or whatever. But like the bride didn't kill anybody.
Yeah,
you know
that
what I mean?
saw. She did also live for like 200 something years. So like we don't know exactly what she's done in those times. But yes, I'll give you that one.
And especially because she's really, really fucking good with a gun. I mean, she right in between the eyes of Alana.
Yeah.
I'm talking like, I liked her little monologue that she was doing with Alana there. And like, I'm not going to kill you because you're trying to, you know, you lied and you fucked everybody over and you want to start World War III. What has this world done for me? I don't give a shit. I'm killing you because you killed my best friend.
Yep.
I was like, hey, she is your best friend, of course, now because she's dead. But let's see, Weasel from what we know, like he's been innocent the whole time.
Right. No, but I just meant
he didn't kill any of those kids.
Right. No, exactly. But I just meant like the police thought he killed the kids. Whereas Nina, I don't even remember if it was trespassing. They were just like, oh, it's a monster.
No.
Get her.
No, it was just, yeah. It was Frankenstein. It was total pitchforks.
Yeah,
All that
exactly.
jazz. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not literally, but yeah, that's what it was like. A mob after the monster that's not apparently hurt or done anything to anybody.
Mhm.
So, and then with Phosphorus, though, he went full blown gangster.
Yeah,
like,
he did. Dude, he had some pretty brutal like kills this episode. Like that one where he grabs the guy's mouth and then just like melts through his face.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck.
Did he like release the smoke or something like that? Like the guy was smoking and he like took a hit and before he could even release it, he like grabbed his mouth and like just
Mhm.
oh my God.
I think they actually showed like the smoke come out after too.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's what yeah. Man. Yeah, I mean I don't know. That's it. That's all I got. That's crazy. Abrupt stopped.
Yeah.
Just don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of how this episode ended. It just like abruptly ended.
Yeah.
The only thing I saw was a little Easter egg when she's in Alana's office or whatever, and she's looking at her books. She pulls a book out and it says Mary Shelley's, which is Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. So anyway, I just thought that was a cool little Easter egg.
Yeah, but I thought it had a different name. I didn't think it said Frankenstein on it, though. I thought it had another.
It didn't. It just said Mary
book.
Shelley.
Yeah, but there was some writing going down the side of the binding, and I didn't stop to actually write down what that word was. So I had to go back. But now I saw the Mary Shelley because it was very evident. And then there was something else. It was something else that was coming down it. So, but I loved how the bride pieced all this together. I loved how she figured it all out. And she went in there and confronted Alana. Like, I was not expecting any of that. Like, I didn't expect Nina dying, and I didn't expect the office between the bride and Alana. Like, where she killed her there. I know she has silencers on her guns, but I figured somebody would have heard that gunshot and come in there.
Yeah, I was definitely not expecting Nina dying, and I figured Alana was gonna die. I thought maybe I don't know. I thought maybe eventually it was going to be revealed that she is a bad person, and then like the creature commandos like fight all the like army and then get to her and like someone kills her. But yeah, I don't know. It didn't have this big crescendo ending. I think is what it kind of just petered out. It was just kind of like, and then she's dead.
Yeah, and I was kind of the same way. Like, it just seemed to. I didn't see that coming either, as far as that whole scene there in the office. But I did like that one. I liked seeing that side of the bride. I thought that was kind of we got glimpses of that throughout the series too. Like, whenever like I said, in that brothel, whatever that was there, you could see how she does have a heart a little bit. And so it was nice seeing that part of it. And just square right in the middle, like whenever she fired, and I was like, dang, that was so
right.
It was pretty cool little scene.
I agree. All right, so me and Jeremy think Nina's dead. Richard says she's coming back. Alana, I go back and forth on whether or not she's dead. What do y'all think? Have we talked about Alana yet? Whether or not y'all think she's dead?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I would say she's dead. I mean, that was pretty clean cut, felt like. But
yeah,
I don't know. They got some weird tech stuff there with those knights and everything. So I don't know, but I don't see how you can reverse that. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I could easily see they use the Frankenstein technology to bring her back, and she's like an evil, like, bride of Frankenstein kind of thing. They could bring Nina back, and she could be evil. I don't know. I think she is dead currently, but I'm used to comics where like no one ever stays dead. They can just do a hand wavy explanation and bring that person back. Why?
Except for poor old Uncle Ben.
Yeah. Well, not even him. Even it was brought back in one of the like Into the Spider-Verse stuff.
I thought that was an alternate reality.
Yeah, it is, but it's still bringing him
Yeah.
back. Like,
Oh, I got you.
so yeah, I don't know. I'm not very convinced that she is quote unquote dead, but for right now, I'll just say it.
Yeah.
But yeah. I know that was kind of like a nothing answer, but
No, I understand completely because I'm right there with you. Like, to me, it's like, yes, it surely does look like she's dead. That bullet went into her brain. There was lots of blood. Like, it looks, and there was a body. Like, it checks a lot of the boxes. However, now I'm stuck on this whole like Princess of Gem world. I'm like, is that what we're doing here? Like, does she, go Lazarus pit and she comes back? I don't know.
That's another thing too. Yeah, the Lazarus pit exists in this world, so like anybody could be brought back to life.
Right. Cool. What do y'all think? Y'all have any ideas or anything y'all would like to see from where we go from here?
I think we all know the answer to that. For me, I don't know.
Richard.
Yeah,
but I will say, like I will say, I will like to see how this new one kind of goes and how the bride has how she's changed. Like, I feel like maybe she's, I don't know, not necessarily softened any, but maybe her attitude, personality's changed a little bit. So I'd be interested to see if that's there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know the exact like what their main mission for next season will be, but I definitely think we're going to get more of Eric Frankenstein pursuing the bride. I think he will eventually come to like learn that he's been a giant like dick or whatever, and that like he'll eventually become like a good guy, if you will, and join their team. Part of me wants Nina to come back because that would be a good like kind of foil to shock the bride of like, oh, my best friend's back. Like, what exactly? And you could even make her evil or something, and then like, the bride has to deal with like killing Nina or something. I don't know. Yeah, as far as their main mission, I don't know. Like, I want it to be something tied into the DC universe. So like, whatever, they need to go steal kryptonite. They need to go, I don't know, to the Wayne Enterprises and steal some data or something. I don't know what it is. Something. I think that would be cool.
I got you. Yeah. I don't know. I just want to see whatever the next mission is. I thought it was fun, so I'm ready to see what they have in store. Especially with these new team members, I'm interested to see what the Mummy does. And of course, I want to see King Shark. I want to see what they do with King Shark. I think that's going to be fun. Those are the things I'm excited about. I like that Bride's taking on the role, so she's stepping up to that. I like I like the idea of Phosphorus being like second in command kind of deal, because that's what it felt like. This last episode was kind of, he was like, "Hey, you got this, kid." Like, he was, comforting Nina and trying to be encouraging to her. So I like that as well. Cool. What was y'all's favorite episode of the season?
Sorry,
Jeremy's like, none of them.
I'll have to say probably the GI episode, GI Robot. He's one of my. I like him a lot.
It's a good pick.
That's a solid one.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. But for me, Michael's not gonna like this. I love chasing squirrels. I think that's one of the. I think that's one of the saddest but best told episodes, in my opinion. I like the way they did that. I especially love the ending for that episode of like, I don't know. I've grown to love Weasel now. Like, I love at the end of this series, they're building like a golden statue to him or whatever because he saved the princess. Like, I don't know. I like Weasel. So the fact that he has this heartbreaking sort of story is really sad. I liked Nina's as well, but the rest of the episode kind of ruined it for me. So I think if this was in like a different episode or something, I would have liked that more. But yeah, so I'm gonna say Chasing Squirrels.
I will say I'm with you 100% on the ending. Like, that ending was that stopped it perfect. Like, Oh, he's just chasing squirrels. Like, fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck. This guy's got so much going on in his brain, or this John has so much going on in his brain that but he can't tell anybody.
He is a broken little animal.
Yeah, exactly. I was kind of surprised that you didn't pick this episode just because how much sadder this one was, but I get it. I have to agree with Jeremy. My favorite episode, though, is G.I. Robot. I freaking love that episode. The song, everything about it, like it was fantastic. Like I sit there and still laugh about like him standing up in the middle of that little meeting. He was like, "Ready to die, Nazis."
Yeah, exactly.
He just started. I'm just like, damn.
Yeah.
Oh man, funny stuff. All right, well, that's all I got. Y'all got anything else for this?
Nope.
Yeah, no, that's all I got.
Y'all recommend anybody watch this?
Not sure. I mean, it's again like one of those like. I know a lot of people. I've talked to other people that have enjoyed it, so it's definitely let them know beforehand. Kind of, it's a little bit of the crude humor type thing, and but it's still. I mean, yeah, it's a decent show, I guess, but it's not necessarily one that I would go out of my way to recommend to people watch.
You're so glad this is over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Richard, what about you?
Yeah, I would recommend this. I think Jeremy excluded. I think a lot of people like the crude humor. So I think most people would like this. I think if you like James Gunn's sense of humor, you'd like this, especially if you like The Suicide Squad. You're definitely going to like this. Again, I part of me is like, wait till season 2 comes out. Like, if you have not seen this and for some reason you're listening to us, wait till season 2 comes out and then watch it, because I just don't think this was a complete story to me. But
I got you. I mean, I've already recommended it to somebody, so I think I think you'll have fun watching it. If you like profanity and things like that. So it was fun for me. Cool. Next week, y'all come back. We're going to be doing a video game review in Guardians of the Galaxy. You'll definitely want to hear that, so come check that out. In the meantime, Richard excited, just in case y'all didn't understand or get that.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, Jeremy, where can they find you at?
They can find me on Twitch under the handle Night Fury GTO. That's Night with a K. And you can find me here.
Awesome. Richard?
If you want to contact me directly, I have an X, the platform formerly known as Twitter, and Instagram, a Blue Skies, and a Threads. My handle is Night Curry, night like day and night, and curry with a K. If you want to contact us directly, we have a Gmail. Our Gmail is comicallycomicspodcast@gmail.com. And if you want to check us out on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, you can check us out under the name Comically Comics Podcast. And if you want to check us out on X, the platform formerly known as Twitter, you can check us out under the name Comically Comics with an X.
I want to add that I'm pretty sure James Gunn made that comment about Clayface that I was talking about earlier on Blue Sky.
Okay.
Because when I saw it, I meant to say, Richard, James Gunn's on there with you.
I think you mentioned last week, maybe off podcast, that he has a Blue Sky. I think I followed him. I actually, for the first time on Blue Sky, I tweeted out to this is comic-y positive. This is not even related to comics. An actor from College Humor called Brennan Lee Mulligan. He does the Oreo CEO. They've released Oreo flavored Oreos again, and I bought some. I took a picture, and I was like, I think Carl Box needs to come back and do a bit on this. But anyway, yeah. So anyway, that was my first real social media tweet in a long time.
Look at you doing shit.
Look at me being not a boomer at this point.
Y'all can find me on Instagram, eBay, and Shortbox at 22_comics. You can also find me on YouTube at 22 comics. Thank y'all so much for listening. Hope you enjoyed as much as we did making it. Well, all being said, say goodbye, Jeremy.
Bye, Jeremy.
Goodbye, Jeremy. Goodbye.
When you think about it, if she didn't love me, why would she overreact as much as she did, right? Now I'm only more sure of the connection we have. What kind of soup is this?
Sparrow dropping soup.
Tastes disgusting.
Yes.